10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap.
Well, hello. Trying some new background music. This is also Leo's music, by the way. I like Leo's music. He's got some good music. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? Welcome. Friday night trigger time. How you guys doing? Well, I hope. This will probably be... Well, this... no, I'm going to do a geek chat tomorrow night. So that will be the last chat that I do on the channel for like at least a week. Whilst I move all next week. So... Oh, good times. Goddamn. Move's gonna be fucking killer, dude. Oh. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So hopefully everybody's weekend goes well. Mine will be filled with packing. Because why not? Well, look at who it is here.
Howdy ho.
Hello, I'm Mr. Poop. Anyway, what's up, Duke?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Fucking packing. Well, not at the moment, but
yeah,
that's what I've been doing. Half my house is empty, and the other house is completely fucking trashed, filled with boxes and shit and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
My house is just a clusterfuck right now. So, yeah, we got the rest of the weekend, and then get the truck on Monday morning.
Nice.
And start packing Monday and see how long it takes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be on the road Tuesday or Wednesday. It depends on how long it takes to pack everything up and get everything done. But, and then that's it.
Nice, man.
So, it's going to be a hell of a week.
Could you turn the music down a little bit? I'm having a hard time concentrating, listening to you because it's really loud. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's like so intense, and I was like, okay, can I do it? Can I? And I was like, no, I gotta say something to him because I'm at a roller rink right now. Like.
No, that's some of Leo's 80s retro music that he makes.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it.
It reminds me of, I don't know, do you remember that you were probably, I don't know if it like came out the year you were born, but there was a show called Pole Position in like 87. And it was a brother and sister, and they drove these two cars. One was like a really futuristic looking car, and one was an old school, looked like a Mustang, like an old 60s Mustang. And they had all different tricks, and like they could fly and go in the water and do all kinds of stuff. And it was like they were like stunt racers who were, I think they were like trying to solve the mystery of something, what had happened to their parents. So they were like stunt drivers who did shows and also like fought crime, as everybody in every cartoon did in the 80s. You know, there was always like, we do this, but we also fight crime or terrorists or I don't know, whatever. And anyway, the theme song to that show was awesome. And this song that Leo did is very reminiscent of that, which is why I like it. It's very reminiscent of the Pole Position theme song.
Yeah, I have never heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I want to say
everything.
I want to say it was only on for one season.
Oh,
And
okay.
I want to say it was like 87 ish.
Okay.
And yeah, it took the name from the video game Pole Position, but there was nothing. I mean, it had nothing to do with the game. And yeah, it was about like a brother and sister, and they had these two like modified cars, very speed racer Mach 5 ish,
Yeah.
cars that could do a bunch of other secret things, and I loved the one that looked like the old Mustang. That was my favorite because it did.
Nice.
It was like designed and drawn after like a 66, 67 Mustang. And I just remember I remember the theme song more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Because like that was the 80s were, and even going into the 90s were phenomenal for theme songs on cartoons.
Yeah, I think a part of it was you were supposed to be in the other room getting cereal, and it came on, and it was like to alert you that you had to run into the living room. So like that's what G.I. Joe did. That's what like Transformers did. That's what X-Men did. Like all those like really good ones were like, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
I gotta get in there.
Well, and it wasn't even just like the cartoons either. Like all the shows, whether everything from Star Trek to Quantum Leap, you had these great intros and theme songs and stuff. I still love the one from Simon and Simon was one of my favorite theme songs as a kid. I loved that show, which was just I mean it was not made for kids, but I loved the show. I loved the intro to it. And at some point in the like 2000s and then going into the early 2010s, shows were just like, man, people don't want theme songs anymore. And you would just get like 2 seconds of like the name of the show, and then it just gets into the show.
Yep.
We lost theme songs and intros to television shows like we used to have, which I kind of miss. I miss a good theme song, a good cool intro. When I used to I never skipped past the intro to Game of Thrones.
Nope.
I always watched the intro to Game of Thrones whenever it would come on. I loved the music. I loved the visuals of just going over like Westeros and everything.
Yeah.
And
give me a second. I'll be right back. Go. Keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, it was cool, man. I don't know what happened. We used to have good theme music and intros and shit. Not so much anymore. Let's see. Dark Ace says he likes the music. Tomcat says, do you have any experience with Bear Creek Arsenal? A little bit, yes. I've owned one complete Bear Creek Arsenal rifle, and then I've owned a Bear Creek upper on another rifle. I mean, they were great rifles, both of them. The one that was just the upper and the one that was the complete rifle. Never had any issues with them. Will be honest, they were not rifles that I shot a whole bunch, but I took them out. I shot them. My son shot them. My older daughter shot them. My wife has shot them. Never noticed any issues with them. The only thing I can say about Bear Creek that I did notice with both of the guns was the fit and finish was not as nice as some other manufacturers. Just the way that nitride, I think it was nitride finish. Was it nitride or did they use the phosphate? No, I think they used the nitride. Their nitride finish on their guns was a little sloppy in some areas and stuff like that. Nothing that affected the gun itself. But that was something I did notice, I guess, for whatever that's worth. Again, it wasn't that big a deal. I think that what it came down to is for like roughly the same price, you can get PSA, which I think has nicer fit and finish. And I've used a lot more of their stuff. So, yeah. Dino says, what's the pink donut patch on the wall? What pink donut patch? Oh, over. That's not the wall. That's on my safe. You talking about right here? That's G-Web's Gun Show Loophole Tour patch from, I think it was 2018, I believe. Yeah, these are just patches on my that's one of my safes right there, and then the other one's right next to it, and they're covered in patches and stickers and shit. So, let's see, where are we at? F and Rob says, kind of enough ammo and almonds secure jobs in the Great White North. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's the point. Yeah, getting a job up there. That's not the only reason we're moving. As anybody who's watched the channel for a long time knows, I mean, me and my wife and the family have wanted to move up north for years. I mean, I've been talking about it on the channel since 2016. We almost some stuff the house we were looking at fell through, but we almost did it back in 2017. And then of course, you know, we were still looking and planning, but then COVID happened and that just screwed everything up. And there was a lot of stuff going on for a few years after that. And the opportunity just wasn't right, I guess, and didn't really present itself until here about a month ago.
Yeah.
So
we are happy. We are so happy for you.
Yeah.
We're excited, man. Excited for the whole thing.
I'm looking forward. I'm stressed the fuck out right now.
I get it.
I'm looking forward to getting there and fucking getting settled and everything, so the stress will be fucking over because I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But this move is fucking.
It's the move.
It's like and doing it so quick too.
Yeah. And
It's
once you're here, once you're here, because then I'll come over and help you, and then like once you get your you start everything, like you'll feel a lot better, man.
Yeah. It'll all be good and calm down. It's a lot of just getting everything ready and all the stuff we're doing now and getting the kids pulled out of school and everything and the move itself and then getting up there and then everybody getting settled and in school and at work and all that shit. Like it's just, it's a stressful process at the moment. So I'm just ready for it to fucking be over. I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to fucking get on the fucking road and get this done and over with and get settled in and everybody get lined up with, you know, their schools and everything and just so let's see. Oh, I got a super chat out there. Where did it go? I know I just saw it. Tarkay says, am I being a hypocrite for not wanting to buy Turkish guns but being fine buying red dots, toys, etc. made in China? Man, no, I don't think so. I mean, there is kind of I think there is a difference between Turkey and China. Like, are both not our friends? Yes. But does China outright sponsor Islamic terrorism that murders people? No, they don't.
They just do it themselves. Okay, continue. Because I got a take. So
go for it.
No, and it's not for like. Matt is right. I believe what Matt said, but I'll also say I'll give that to you just because Turkey produces what I believe is subpar crap, and at least China you're getting like decent things hit and miss. So when you buy Chinese red dots that work well, I'll at least give that to you. But I think when you spend your money on Turkish guns, they're all a waste of money because you can get better quality stuff for just the same price, if not a little bit more. So that's my point.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I will be fair. I've seen some decent Turkish guns. The one that comes to mind off the top of my head is the Titsas, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Their 1911s are actually pretty damn good guns. Now, that being said, that's because it's a 1911 and we have hit a stage in human development where it's really hard to fuck up a 1911.
Yeah.
Because everybody and their fucking dog knows how to make one properly. But that's one that comes to mind. Their shotguns are mostly crap. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're being hypocritical.
No, I don't think you are either. But I would just get a Rock Island. I saw a Rock Island today used for $225.
Yeah,
that's a super steal, man.
Yeah,
a Rock Island is a good gun.
Oh yeah, very solid.
Yeah, like that's a good gun, and you're doing well. That'd be a great first gun. Yep. I would recommend that for $225. I'd all day long. Your first gun is a 1911.
Yep.
You'd get street cred just for carrying that.
Yep.
And telling people your first gun was a 1911. So that's my theory.
Yep.
So no.
NC Lucky says Miami Vice and Magnum PI had the best theme songs back in the 80s. Yeah, they did.
Okay, so I did miss this. You know what else had, like, G.I. Joe had a good theme song, but it also had good music in the show.
In the episode, yeah.
Just the in between. It was awesome, and I listened to that soundtrack, just the intermittent, like, there's like an hour long, like, music of G.I. Joe, and it's just that, like, the low theme and, like, faster, slower, or, like, ripped up, and I love that, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there was a lot, and that was the other thing is in the 80s, man, there was a lot of, like, fairly hard rock themes to cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit with like that was good, like genuinely good.
Yeah.
But some of my favorites though were ones that were like I love the Disney themes. I thought all the Disney themes were great. DuckTales, Gummy Bears, Darkwing Duck. You know, those themes were great. Disney knows how to make catchy. Well, they used to anyway. Know how to make catchy music and stuff, and they put a lot of effort into that whole Disney afternoon block of cartoons that they had on for years.
Oh yeah,
there's some good stuff there.
I'll even give credit to like the Disney movies of the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah,
had just like Aladdin.
Oh,
like a good like funny soundtrack.
Yeah.
The Lion King, all those movies all have good soundtracks. At the 80s, though, arguably may have had the best soundtracks in movies because you get Terminator, you get RoboCop, you get Rocky, you get Conan, you get all those 80s. Like Rambo, like all those movies had really good soundtracks.
I think the 80s, when it came to soundtracks, shined when it came to like original, what would you call it? Like soundtrack music.
Score?
A score? Yeah, score is the word I'm looking for. Thank you. When it came to like original scores. I think the 90s, though, had better soundtracks when it came to actual songs that were playing on the radio.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Have you ever heard the soundtrack to The Crow, for instance?
Yes, I know. Yes, and like
one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Okay, so you're saying actual songs that play
songs versus scores? Yeah.
Okay, score goes to 80s. Soundtrack goes to 90s then.
Yes, for me.
I think you might be right on that.
Because like there was some good soundtrack. There were some good songs on soundtracks. Like, you know, you had Berlin, Take My Breath Away, and Danger Zone on the Top Gun soundtrack, right? But that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
And everything else was just score music, right? Footloose had Footloose, right?
Yeah.
Great soundtrack, good score, but it really only had one like radio playable song on the entire soundtrack. In the 90s, they started moving towards and to the detriment of the score itself, but they started moving towards scoring movies with already existing like music, as instead of doing a score, it was songs. Like again, I'll point to The Crow, where you had just a ton of alternative rock bands that were just through that entire movie, and it was all on the soundtrack.
Well,
Another
yeah.
great soundtrack from the '90s was that modern remake of Romeo and Juliet,
Oh
which
yeah.
was a great soundtrack, and it's like the only Shakespeare movie I actually can watch, but it was a great soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay, I'll give that to you.
so I think it depends on what hype. Like scores were better in the '80s, soundtracks were better in the '90s to me.
Hmm.
So, and I think that, like I said, that's just because there weren't a lot of full blown soundtracks for movies. Usually, a movie had one, maybe two songs on it that were like, again, the kind of stuff you would hear on the radio, and that was it. You know, although I will say one from the '80s that I absolutely love, that was just full of actual songs by an actual fucking musician was Batman '89. Just nothing but Prince.
Oh,
Just an entire Prince soundtrack was glorious.
So I've been going through this like Batman '89. I think it's a perfect movie. I think it's one of those perfect movies for me.
I cannot think of anything about that movie I would change.
Right. And it's a product of its time, but it remains to me perfect. And I wish that we would have gotten more of that Batman, and less of. I mean, I'm
Tim
fine
Burton
with
insanity.
Yeah, like I like Batman Returns, but it's just I wish we would have been able to stay in that world longer, because I liked that gothic Batman, you know, and the whole world, and I don't know.
I'm of the mind that if I never watch Batman Returns again, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
Like,
you know, Batman's only in like 13 minutes of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I can watch
crazy.
Batman '89 over and over and over again. Batman Returns, honestly, I'd rather watch Batman Forever. I like Batman Forever, not Batman and Robin, because that movie's awful. But Batman Forever with Val Kilmer and Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, I'd rather watch that. I enjoy that movie more than Batman Returns.
I would have liked to have seen what Batman Forever would have looked like if it was Tim Burton. What you remember? What it was supposed to?
It was supposed to be, yeah.
What was it supposed to be called? It was something
I
weird.
think it was still supposed to be called Batman Forever. I think they kept the name.
Okay.
But they changed so much else. There was a lot of the same basic plot was the same, right? Like it was going to introduce Robin.
Oh, that's right.
It was going to introduce the Joker, or not the Joker. It was going to introduce Riddler and Two-Face. However, all the sets were changed to what Joel Schumacher wanted. All the actors cast were the ones Joel Schumacher wanted. So, Michael Keaton was out, replaced with Val Kilmer. They brought in Chris O'Donnell as Robin instead of originally it was going to be Marlon Wayans. That was going to be like his first movie role. I think originally Tim Burton wanted Robin Williams as the Riddler, and I forget who was originally being talked to by Tim Burton for Two-Face, but it was not Tommy Lee Jones. Then of course
it was Lando.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was gonna be Billy D. Williams. Yeah, that's right. It was gonna be Billy D. Williams because he's already played the character in the previous two, and then they changed all the sets too. They went from gothic to that more futuristic neon look, which is what Joel Schumacher wanted, as opposed to sticking with what Tim Burton had already done.
Yeah, will you pull up this link? It's a poster of what you're talking about. There's another one out there that fits the Tim Burton look better, and I saved it for you specifically because I wanted to ask you about it. But like this poster is what you're talking about, in the side chat.
Okay.
The private chat.
Here.
It's exactly what you're talking about.
Let me blow that up here. Go away, ads. When I blow it up, the ads just cover the screen.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, anyway.
Right there. Yeah, just that. Like, It's got Robin Williams, you know, Marlon Wayne.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans.
And then Billy D. Williams, and there you go. So that was like the.
Oh, and they were going to get Renee Russo to play what's her face Chase.
Yeah.
Dr. Chase, whatever the fuck her name is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know.
I think I still like Batman Forever a lot. I think it's a fun Batman movie. However, I would have loved to have seen that version.
It's very 90s though. I do like that. That makes me happy about it.
Yeah. I would have loved to have seen Robin Williams play Riddler.
Yeah. I think he
would have played a very funny but also darker version of Riddler than Jim Carrey did.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. He would because he was in the 90s was when he started leaning towards doing more darker stuff.
Yep.
And more offbeat stuff and less straight comedy.
Yeah, and like or dramatic, like drama stuff where it was like, ooh, that kind of hurts. Like Patch Adams was funny, but it was a good drama, like riveting. And I really like the original actor for the Riddler from the old Adam West Batman show. I don't know what his name was, but
Frank Gorshin.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember how you say his last name, but yeah.
Like I liked how he acted, and I mean Jim Carrey was just crazy, so I guess that was a part of it and whatever. But you know, like I like that, and I like the Joker. I like Cesar Romero, who was the original Joker in Adam West, and I mean to be honest, I still like Jack Nicholson that's my Joker. Jack
Nicholson was a phenomenal Joker. He was. Now that being said, as a comic fan, he was very different. Well, Joker has been portrayed as so many different things, and there have been occasions where Joker has been portrayed in the comics, although not very often, but as more of kind of like a mobster type of Joker. That is definitely a version of Joker that has popped up in the comics before. It just wasn't the norm, and that's the kind of Joker that he was playing.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what version of Joker. I love Jack Nicholson because that's the version I grew up with. You're right, Cesar Romero, Batman 66 was phenomenal. I love the kind of nut job, anarchist, like whatever he was supposed to be, Heath Ledger Joker too. It's a very different take on Joker, but it worked really well in that movie. But so yeah, there's a lot of different versions of Joker. I typically tend to prefer a Joker that is just straight up a serial killer psychopath.
Okay.
Just because that's the majority of the comics that I read and growing up with Joker and stuff he was just absolutely insane and would kill any and everyone for a laugh, and just he was the true antithesis to Batman as far as it's why he worked so well as a villain. Was because there was most of the time, he was incredibly intelligent, but a lot of the times everything he was doing was just to cause chaos. He always had an end goal, like he wanted to cause chaos because he wanted to cause Batman problems, but he just wanted to cause chaos and destruction and death and damage. And it made him, because he wasn't just another criminal, it made him way more interesting.
Oh, yeah. Agreed on that wholeheartedly. Okay, so my question to you is, you're in charge of DC. What do you do with Batman now? Like, what do you do with Batman? Are you gonna, would you do we cannot see another origin. I am so tired of origins.
No. I think what you do, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I like what I've heard so far about what they're going to do with Batman in this new DC movie universe, which is they're just going to start like in the middle. Like he's not old man Batman yet, but he's been Batman long enough. Robin already exists. This is a thing he's been doing for 10 years or so. So you've got a probably in his 30s, maybe late 30s Batman. Robin's already probably the original Robin's probably already come and gone and become Nightwing at that point. So you don't have like a really old grizzled Batman, which is kind of what they were trying to go with Ben Affleck. But you also don't have the opposite, which is a brand new. Because we've already seen Batman Begins, and then we've seen Batman after a couple of years, which is that Robert Pattinson Batman. I want a Batman that's in the middle of his career, and also I want it to skew towards the comic books. I don't want for a director to try and make it more realistic. I don't want for a director to try and just put their own spin on it. I don't need let's find a new way to tell this story. Because other than Batman the Animated Series, there's been no movies or television shows that have just told a comic accurate Batman story or told, it's never been done in live action. None of the movies, they've all taken their own little twists, and I love them all in their own way. But Tim Burton's Batman was Tim Burton's Batman. Yeah. Batman Begins was Christopher Nolan's very mostly realistic take on the character in a world. Ben Affleck's Batman, while was pretty comic book accurate for Batman at the end of his career, in the comic Dark Knight Returns, where he's older, Robin's dead, it's the end of everything. He hasn't been Batman for a while. I mean, that's basically where Ben Affleck's Batman started. He hadn't been Batman for a while, and Robin was dead and all this stuff. Yeah. And then what's his name? Robert Pattinson's Batman is also very similar to Batman Begins, which is they're trying to do more of a realistic take on Batman and that kind of thing. I don't want any of that. I want a ridiculous comic book version of Batman in his prime. That's what I want, because we haven't gotten that yet. That's what I'd like to see. I'm hoping that's what they're going to do, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But from what I've heard, what they're going to do, the first movie that has Batman in it, or the first Batman movie, I don't know if he might make an appearance in some other movie, but the first Batman movie that's going to come out is going to be called Batman Brave and the Bold, which is a take on the comic book Brave and the Bold, which was a Batman comic book where it wasn't just about Batman, but it was about Batman and all his surrounding characters like Batgirl and Robin and Nightwing and Red Robin and all their villains and all that kind of stuff. And really like that, if you're going to do that and just fucking dive right into the full comic bookiness of Batman with all the crazy characters and all the different versions of Robin and Batgirl and everything else, I'm down with that, as long as you do it well, because we haven't seen that yet. So I mean, the closest we got to seeing that on the movie, at the movies, was Batman and Robin, and that movie was fucking awful.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to see that done, but in a good way. We'll see if that happens. Let me get the super chat here real quick. MSB 9021 dropped one in and says, Miami Vice was a weekly event for my circle of friends. By the way, Turks are a bunch of rump rangers. Ooh, really? They are?
Wow.
They're just like, did they all join the Navy? Is that? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk shit about your fucking cab drivers there, Duke. But
yeah, it always made me laugh when Navy guys would try to give me a hard time. I'm like, okay, buddy, okay. Yeah. It's like JV making fun of a varsity player. I'm like, okay, you got me. Oh no.
All right, let me get some comments out here. Dwayne says major phone service is out in major parts of the country. I haven't heard about this. I was looking at the news earlier. I hadn't heard about it. I wonder if we got hacked again. That's what happened last year when we lost it.
You're missing some good YouTube videos. You have to check out some some Sean Ryan. He had a Biden executive assistant or something, or I don't know what you call White House correspondent. I don't know, some lady who worked with Biden. She has gone rogue and is telling everyone everything. Ooh. And it's really good. But the problem is everything you feared is what was going on. Biden wasn't running the White House. They didn't have a briefing, like a joint, like all hands briefing for a year. For a year. Like, she said that Hunter was running the White House, and so was Jill. Wow. And she's just being honest. It's really crazy. And she was like full-fledged Democrat for years, and she's like, yeah, I just owe it to the American people to be honest now. This is what was going on. And like how Obama was running everything behind closed doors, like it's really good, man. You should take the time. Okay, I'll check it out. I hadn't heard about that one. If you're packing, throw it in your earbuds and do your thing. So
let's see. F and Rob says, did your wife and son get jobs? My wife is working on something, and so is my son. So they're working on it. Nothing set in stone yet, but hopefully it won't take too long. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Jacobo says, how's the kids taking the move and leaving friends? My youngest is doing pretty good. My teenager, she's about to turn 16, so she's at like her peak of like her high school friends. So she very much is looking forward to moving. She's very excited about it, but she's also like, we went and pulled them out of school yesterday and got their transcripts and unenrolled them and all that stuff, and she got all teary-eyed leaving her friends and stuff. But at the same time, she's also very excited about going. So it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. So, it is what it is. And then, of course, my wife's upset because, her whole family's down here. So, although they're already making plans, they're like, okay, so we're coming up there on Christmas this year. Nice. So they want to come up for Christmas. So, but yeah, I mean, so everything's going good. Everything's going good. It's stressful, but everything's going well. Let's see. Oh, got another super chat here. Stephen Carroll says, Red Robin, did he run the restaurant as Batman or Bruce Wayne? Pretty interesting tie-in. No, not that Red Robin. Red Robin was the third Robin. So he was not Dick Grayson, not Jason Todd. The third Robin. I'm blanking. George, you're out there. Remind me which Robin it is. I'm completely blanking on his name. Anyway, the third Robin, who, in my opinion, is the best Robin, because he was the only, like, the way he became Robin is he was the only person smart enough to figure out who Batman was, and he snuck into the Batcave because he figured out Bruce Wayne was Batman. He's the Robin that's as good of a detective as Batman is. In my opinion, he's the most capable Robin, but he was the third one. Anyway, when he decided he wasn't going to be Batman's sidekick anymore, he went off on his own and became, quote-unquote, Red Robin and got a new costume and was fighting crime on his own. That's who Red Robin is. Which I think this was a thing back before anybody knew what Red Robin was. Thank you, George. Tim Drake is his name. I completely blanked on his name there for a second. Old Man Boger says, early 80s, Kenny Loggins was the king of theme songs for movies. Yes, he was. Kenny Loggins did so many soundtracks in the 80s. So many soundtracks. And you know what's funny is Kenny Loggins came straight out of the Yacht Rock Club. Because there's only a few people that... I mean, granted, when he started doing movie soundtracks, you can't really describe his music as yacht rock anymore. But he was one of the, like, yacht rock people. Like, he was there with, like, Matthew McDonald and all those bands that make up the yacht rock movement of the late 70s, early 80s. Christopher Cross, Matthew McDonald, Steely Dan. Like, Kenny Loggins was one of them. Like, helping make the music, sing on the music, do some of the tracks, produced some of the music, all that kind of stuff. He was a part of that yacht rock movement, but then he blew up and became Mr. Soundtrack, which good for him, because I think he was the one that went on to have the longest career out of all those people, you know, from that era. I mean, nowadays, most people don't even, like, most people only know Matthew McDonald's music, and primarily only because of Regulators, which was the rap song that came out where they sampled Matthew McDonald's I Keep Forgetting. That's the name of the song. I'm not saying I Keep Forgetting. The name of the song is I Keep Forgetting by Matthew McDonald. And that's where the music for Regulators comes from. And that's how people know him. Most of the yacht rock stuff, like, I think some people still know who Christopher Cross is. He blew up pretty big. And I love Christopher Cross's music. I love yacht rock. I'm a big yacht rock fan because it was a lot of the music I heard when I was a kid growing up in the 80s. So I love yacht rock. But yeah, most people, like, Kenny Loggins is by far the one that to come out of that whole yacht rock movement the best, with the longest career, because he got into soundtracks and, you know, became incredibly popular because of that. But his music style changed a lot for the soundtrack stuff.
Oh, and like the music videos to the soundtracks were always super epic. It'd be dude like with some like a really rad car in the background, and he's just like jamming on like a guitar. Yeah, and it goes to them like on like speedboats or something. Yeah, like that kind of era. And he's got like real heavy mullet, you know, and a tight like white t-shirt. It's just
everything was like a scene from the opening of fucking Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am disappointed that we live in an era where we don't get to enjoy music videos like in the 90s, where you could have a far range of enjoyability of music, and you could enjoy like all these different music videos. That was a cool era, man.
Let's see. George says Highlander had an awesome score and soundtrack. Many of the CD scores of Highlander and Queen. Yeah, well, because Queen did the whole soundtrack. You can't go wrong when Queen does anything, much less your entire soundtrack.
Yeah, like, hey, we got this really good movie, and Queen's like, but what if we did the soundtrack? They're like, oh my god, you just made it better. It's like Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is a super horrible movie.
Epic fucking soundtrack.
But it has got a soundtrack that makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll argue that I don't know. I love Flash Gordon. So.
Oh, I love that movie. It's an arguably awful movie.
That should have been on our list.
But
movies you know that are bad, but you love.
That's true. We should have put that on the list. But like, it's done in a way where it almost like knows it's awful.
Oh yeah, they had
like it knows it's being over the top and cheesy and ridiculous. Like it wasn't. They weren't. That did. It's not like you were watching that and going, "Oh, they're playing this completely serious." No.
Yeah,
they're not.
Yeah. Gordon's alive.
Yeah. Mr. Scary says 80 soundtracks will always be my favorite. Vision Quest, Footloose, Flashdance, Queen, Highlander soundtrack, AC/DC, Maximum Overdrive. Yeah, ACD. That Maximum Overdrive soundtrack's awesome.
Okay, I rewatched that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rewatch it. Just leave
Maximum
it.
Overdrive?
Just I don't know.
I've watched that many times. I still like it.
I do, but I liked it better in my mind.
I really hope though one day they actually do an update on that and make it faithful to the story, the Stephen King story that it came from, which I've also read it's a kind of a short story from one of his novella books, but and it's loose, you know, there's similarities there, but it's very different. I would love to see an update done like actually like what he wrote, because what he wrote was honestly way better. Yeah.
What did you watch the new Stand?
Oh yeah, the one that came out a couple years ago,
like during COVID.
yeah.
Was it? Would I like it? Should I watch it?
Honestly, I like the one from the 90s better.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there then. We don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm there.
It
I am a huge fan of the '90s version.
Yeah, I love the '90s version. It was not bad. The '90s version was better.
Okay.
The '90s version still holds up. I've got that on DVD. I fucking love that miniseries.
It is
amazing.
It is up there with me with everything I enjoy.
Yeah.
I remember I watched that in California. I caught the first 5 minutes on Sci-Fi, and I don't think I moved until.
Oh yeah, because the first 5 minutes is when they go to the army base.
Oh yeah, it was.
And
awesome.
shit just is getting the virus breaks out at that army base at the very beginning.
Right, with a good soundtrack. The Fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. The 90s miniseries is amazing. The remake they did a couple years ago is good, and I wouldn't say don't watch it. I mean, it's still good. It's I mean, obviously they changed some dialogue and stuff like that, and different actors, and better special effects. But it's the exact same story.
Mother Abigail singing on the porch, and that dude coming out of the corn.
Yeah,
that still bothers me.
Yeah,
as you could guess. Yeah, I really like that movie, and the whole '90s feel. That's my era, man. That's why I like Tales from the Crypt, because it takes that era. That's why I like Star Trek, because it's made in that era. I don't know. I just that early '90s, late '80s. That's my era of enjoyment.
My wife is a huge Tales from the Crypt fan.
Really
huge Tales from the Crypt fan.
Oh man,
she's into anything horror adjacent or related.
Yeah.
So Tales from the Crypt, Creep Show. I don't know if you ever watched the show. She talks about it all the time. I have vague memories of seeing a handful of episodes, but in the, I think, early '90s, there was a Friday the 13th Legacy television series.
I just saw a TikTok on it. Yes.
And she talks about that all the time. She loved a lot of. She loved all those horror shows and stuff. Tales from the Dark Side. All that stuff. So, let's see. Shadow Bear dropped in a super chat. Thank you, sir. Says, I keep forgetting that I'm not poor anymore. Look up the song "The Mountain" by Gunship for all the retro '80s feels. The Mountain. Never heard of that.
Never.
Oh, this is a new song. Well, I don't want to say it's new. It was. I think it's from 2017. Oh, okay. We're just gonna. I can't play this because I'm sure it's copywritten. I don't even remember this.
The Mountain by Gunship. Dude, I love music like that, so I'm gonna look it up and hold it until I listen to it later. Oh, by the way, your what do you call it? Your tag picture is hilarious. That's super funny. Your picture for your thumbnail for this video is super funny.
Oh yeah.
The Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah. I love it, dude.
I was like, well, I'm about to move, so
yeah, I
felt that was appropriate. I threw your little face logo on there.
Yeah, that's super funny.
So, yeah.
Have you ever heard of Time Cop? Not Time Cop. It's
I was about to say yes.
No, it's the people who do the music for Stranger Things. They have an '80s vibe. Anyways,
I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I assume you're talking about like the score to the show?
Time Cop 1983. Come back.
Okay.
This, if you ever, I'll put it in the side chat. You need to just listen to this sometime. It'll fry your brain, and the music will take you back.
I mean, I love the score to Stranger Things. It's awesome.
If you listen to this, what I put, you don't have to listen to it now. Listen to it later, or save it or something, because that will fry your brain and take you back to a different time in your life, and it blew my. I don't know. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Because I don't know, I'm big on music, so.
Let me see. Somebody dropped in the pole position theme song. I wish I could fucking play it without getting dinged for copyright.
The pole? Was that what we were
The
talking about earlier?
Pole position? Yeah, pole position.
Yeah.
I'll play it for you after we end the chat. We're gonna
Yeah, do that.
In a minute.
Yeah,
But,
play that. Yeah.
But Time Cop 1983. So this is the band that does the soundtrack, or
Yeah, I
it's
think
just
so.
Similar.
It's
Okay.
similar. It does. I'm telling you, that will melt your mind, and you'll just be like, "Whoa, where am I at?" 100%.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Time Cop 1983. I've never heard of them.
You'll
Is
like
it like is it like my other favorite song?
Which one?
Oh crap. Hold on. Where is it? Let me. Come on, pull it up. There we go. This one here. Oh, I gotta actually like share the.
Oh, I know what song you're talking about. No, it's not like that.
Of course, that's more 70s than 80s. Although a little 80s vibe in there. I don't know.
What
Love
is it? Is it Hot Chocolate? I love that song. Was it
I don't remember that one.
Hot Chocolate? It's not called Hot Chocolate. I'm killing it. It's this theme from. Oh man, I gotta look this up now. Hot Chocolate song.
Old Man Butterker says, I can't wait to hear your opinion on how bad Mexican food here is. Oh, God. Fortunately, I know how to make Mexican food really fucking well.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I have I already told Duke I'm going to make them some like enchiladas and shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I anticipate the Mexican food not being as good up there.
I think that's a fair statement coming from Michigan, and you're coming from the border of Mexico and living in Texas.
Yes.
I would say you're probably right.
Yes. I feel like I've already like mentally prepared for that. But I know how to make good Mexican food. As long as I got the ingredients, I'm good.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of like good stores for that, and just you can get it at any store now. I mean, you can get the ingredients, so you'll be fine.
As long as like the grocery stores, or at the very least Walmart has that Mexican food section that I can buy.
Yeah.
Then I'm good. I'm good. So I got to get my like my green my salsa verde, my Herdez salsa verde, and that kind of stuff. As long as I can get all that stuff, I can make whatever. I will make you some chicken enchiladas that will blow your balls off.
Wow.
That's
dangerous.
I'm telling you, I make chicken enchiladas and with a chorizo sauce that you put on top. Oh, so fucking good. So fucking good. Your family will love it.
I'm looking forward to it. My wife is way more ambitious than I am, and she eats a lot more like different stuff than that. I'm pretty much like basic, but I will try anything. But
I have spent 20 years working on my wife because my wife was the same way. When me and my wife met, I was the dude that put hot sauce on everything and would eat all kinds of stuff. And my wife had a much more simple palate. And I've spent 20 years working on her slowly, you know.
Yep.
So
I'll be honest, I never had mustard before my wife.
what?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Mustard?
Like, I never had. I was like, I don't think I like mustard.
I gotta ask you a question. Do you put ketchup on eggs?
Yep.
That's a yes. God damn it.
Yeah. I have to have
You
ketchup
white
on my
ass
eggs.
motherfucker.
I love it. A little bit of hash in there, a little hash brown, a little black coffee, a little slide of toast. I'm good.
Ketchup on eggs.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta get you to try some Cholula on eggs or something, man.
She got Cholula, and I refuse to try it.
What?
And yeah, she's like, you got to try this.
Cholula is awesome.
I don't even know what
Cholula,
that is.
or if you don't like the vinegary taste, because some people don't like the vinegary hot sauces, then I recommend sriracha as a good entry.
She has that too.
Yeah, sriracha is good because it's not vinegary at all.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of a sweeter taste to it. It probably, if you like ketchup, it's the closest thing that in hot sauce to ketchup.
Okay.
So sriracha is probably for you where I would start. I would try just a little bit of sriracha on the side and dip a little egg in it and see what you think. It's fucking good, dude.
Okay. My thing is I ate hot sauce on every single MRE.
Well,
for
yeah,
4 years, and
because you had to.
Because you're like, oh, this is disgusting, but if I put hot sauce on it, it'll just burn my mouth.
Yeah,
and it'll at least feel a little bit better. Which probably now has been enough time. Like I can't. It's like not being able to drink a Monster because I did so many Jaeger bombs.
Yeah,
when I had my drinking days, so I cannot even smell a Monster without being like, oh, I want to throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But what kind of hot sauce would they throw in there?
The Tabasco. The
Tabasco?
plastic, yeah.
Tabasco is my least favorite hot sauce. I don't like Tabasco.
Yeah, I cannot stand it.
Tabasco, it's not the heat. I love fucking hot sauce. It's the flavor. I don't like the flavor of Tabasco sauce at all.
Yeah, I'll probably be fine if I stick away from that, because I like hot sauce on I'm being bland, but like Taco Bell, I like hot sauce on that. I know, I'm a connoisseur over here.
I gotta make
a guy who's on the border.
I gotta make you some real tacos, dude. I'll make you some like carne asada tacos or something.
Yeah, that sounds real intense. I don't know what carne asada is.
Real carne asada is just meat, like actual chopped up chunks of real meat. You buy some skirt steak, the really thin cut skirt steak, the kind of cheap meat at the store, and you just dice it up into little chunks and you fry it up with some seasoning, and you use that instead of ground beef.
Okay.
And then you hot sauce and whatever you want. Like I know it's white, but I still love like lettuce, tomato, sour cream on my Mexican food.
Yeah, I love sour cream.
I love sour cream. I love sour cream.
Yeah.
I'll make you some carne asada tacos and some enchiladas, and you'll fucking love it.
Nice.
So don't worry about that. I'll get you hooked up. I know how to make really good Mexican food. The only Mexican food I don't make, as far as I don't like pork. I'm not a big pork fan.
No, we don't dig on that a lot.
I love bacon and sausage, like breakfast food, all day long. Yeah. I'm fine with that. But other than that, I don't really do pork at all. And there are if you go to California, most of the time you go get a taco, it's fucking some form of pork. And I do beef and chicken with my Mexican food. Beef and chicken. That's it. I don't do pork fucking Mexican food. So I don't know. I know there's some people that love it. They'd much rather have fucking whatever, but yeah, anyway. Yeah. There you go. Fucking everything turns to food or dick jokes on these chats.
I'm good with it. We're having fun.
So anyway, look guys, it is about time to get out of here. I have so much to do. So I got the next 3 days is just packing and all kinds of stuff, and it's going to be crazy. So like I said, because I won't be doing one for a while, we are going to do a geek chat tomorrow night. So we will do that tomorrow night at 8 Central. And that will be the last chat that I do for a while, because I'm not going to be doing one on Monday or Wednesday or probably next Friday either. There'll be at least a week where you guys ain't going to really see much from me. I'll hop in Discord and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it during the week of the move. And maybe that may be it till I get my office set up over at the other place. So we'll see how long that takes once we get moved in over there. But that's going to do it for tonight. Let me get this last chat. Go Shadow drop one in. Says, read my last chat. To which he said, where is your last chat? Go Shadow, where's your last chat? Jesus, I'm scrolling. Where the hell's your last chat? You motherfucker. Are you fucking with me? You don't have a last chat. Son of a bitch.
This stuff gets deleted sometimes too, though. Or
Yeah,
or
that's true. It could be that. I don't know. I'm looking. I'm scrolling here, dude. I don't see a chat from you. I don't see one, and I'm scrolling up. I'm all the way back to 9:36, which was almost a half hour ago, and I don't see one from you. Oh, I see one at like 9:20 something. Llama made a crap 1911 that had an aluminum frame made out of the wrong alloy. The slide hammered the hell out of the frame. The aluminum couldn't survive slide movement. Is that what you're talking? That's the last chat I see from you from like 40 minutes ago. Is that it? I have no idea. And now Kowloon's like, read my last chat. To which he says, your last chat literally says, Incy Lucky, you mean the correct ones, LOL. Oh, before that he says, the fuck is wrong with you not liking Tabasco? I don't like Tabasco. I don't like the flavor of Tabasco. I love hot sauce. I don't like Tabasco. I'll do Cholula, Louisiana I can do, Tapatio I can do, Sriracha. I like lots of the like fucking gourmet ones out there and stuff, but I don't like buffalo sauce. I don't like buffalo sauce, and I don't like Tabasco. Those are two that I don't like. All right, on that note, we're going to get the hell out of here. We will see you guys mañana for the Geek Chat. Have a great weekend, dudes. Yep. Peace be with you, all that good shit. Deuces, yo, shall not pee in the fridge. I mean, you can, but it's not recommended. It's unsanitary. And we'll see you guys later. Take it easy, guys.